Hello, my name is Shilda. Welcome back for another episode of Comintern 3 in Black Eyes as PSC. And in previous episode, we've managed to do our landings into Kyushu. We've got our landing port still. We haven't actually gotten any of the other ports or the actual ports in here yet, but we're definitely working on it. And we're doing a bit of attacks, some counterattacks and all that. We are getting across this river over there actually fairly shortly. So we'll probably send the mercenary infantry up there. Do we have anything else that... actually, one of the things that we do have... Ooh. Yeah, actually, as soon as we get the province over there, what I can do is I can do landing of troops directly into there, especially the mechanized divisions. That's going to allow us to then clear out the Nagasaki side of things, or Nagasaki side of the island. Oh, and there we go. So there's a bit of counterattack, and some of these troops are now in multiple combats. We have taken a decent bit of losses into his organization, though. So I think we may need to stop this attack for a little while. A bit too much casualties, and well, it's a river crossing into a mountain, so it's not exactly easy. Oh, but there we go. Our landing port held. Go ahead and take a bit of troops over here and start attacking into Miyazaki. We can probably... Oh, right. Yeah, we can move that one down south. I suppose a lot of these troops are in combat. Some of them are actually not in proper combat. Kyushu is currently under attack, but we've got some troops heading in there, and I suspect that we can go ahead and take one of these mechanized divisions now. Oh, that's got heavy armor. Yeah, that's going to be good. I will quickly do an invasion over here. It's going to take a little while, but I think we can manage. Wait, no, why did you go there? No. Just go in here. And in fact, what I might want to do is actually take the other two over here to the west, so we can pick them up from Masan, rather than having to take another trip through the Korea Strait. But since we got the submarines in here, the enemy can't move their troops through. So that gives us a lot of leeway in here. Second echelon advance, there we go, mechanized breakthrough and exploitation. So we can get that one researching. That's probably going to be the last level for it, actually. So we are doing some bombing rounds in Miyazaki. Oh, and they have taken a lot of casualties in there. There's only two garrisons right now that are really even worth fighting against. We could probably go ahead and send in another mercenary infantry on that combat. I think if we just, increase the firepower that we have, that'll probably wreck the enemies quickly enough so that we can get the port before we lose our invasion port next month. And of course, we do still need to get through Fukuoka. Actually, we can go ahead and take the close air support now and start assisting in this, doing some more ground attacks. Also going to go ahead and put in some anti-aircraft guns to be built in Beppu. We should be getting the tactical bombers soon enough. So how far have our troops gotten on the western side of things? We're now going around the Aral Sea. So after that, we'll be able to potentially help around here. Maybe we'll go ahead and start pushing into Romania or something. The Soviets are still having some issues on the area just outside of Moscow, though. But I think they'll be able to clear that out on their own. Looks like the Allies have been pushed... well, actually, I don't know. They've managed to take some areas back, I think. Mostly in Belgium. Like, they've taken Brussels. We do have a victory condition, so our side only has 2. Axis have 1. Allies have 4. So we're kind of behind in that. But with our help, we might be able to clear out things like... Actually, is Romania part of... Romania is a Comintern puppet, so that is one of them. Is Bulgaria part of these? No. Greece is part of Comintern is, though, so that's something that we might want to do. East Germany, Finland, Poland, Bagration, Munich, Frankfurt, Tokyo. Tokyo is something that I will probably be taking care of, at least trying to. They've got a lot of troops in here. Of course, what we might be able to do, is it, oh, so it's over there. Okay, that's going to be a little bit trickier then. But if we can get to Shikoku, that's going to allow us to get another airfield slightly closer to the enemy main things. Of course, that is also going to take us, take the copper from them, which is quite nice. They've still got the chromite in Hokkaido. That's about it. I think they may have transported some troops in here. Or maybe they're shattered, but there we go. That's a... Oh, that was a good bombing run in here. And also, let's go ahead and land some troops. That's going to be in less than a day, actually. And we can send the troops back, or the ships back into Masan. We've got another mechanized division already waiting in there. Oh, and rubber. I think we could probably afford exporting some of that, yeah. It looks like the counter HMS. Oh, this one needs to stop. It's not looking too strong. Also, oh, hold on, we had the Mercenary Corps HQ shatter, so we need to bring that back in. We do actually have another corps in here, which is part of the second... Oh, right, this is a part of the army that invaded Tibet, wasn't it? Okay, so we could probably go ahead and assign this one under another army in here. Maybe the first army. So we can then utilize these for another set of landings or something. Maybe not yet, but at least we can get them in position. Kitakishu is still under attack quite a bit. We haven't dealt enough damage, quite frankly. Oh, there we go. We got a mechanized division in there. That was the unit that just landed in, wasn't it? Yep. So let's go ahead and rebase this one in Mazan. We do have the motor torpedo boats, but of course the range on those is quite abysmal. Oh, gun position, twin engine planes advance. Very good. And 2 days and we'll get 3 more squadrons of tactical bombers. We'll get the mercenary infantry up here, so that's going to allow us to probably hold back the enemy attack quite easily. And what I might even do is just pull back the naval infantry now that it did what it needs to. We've got a bit of fuel issues in here, but I suppose that's to be sorted out eventually. But with the bombing runs that we're doing in here, I'm expecting quite a bit of casualties. Oh, there we go, victory at Kyushu. That's 800 casualties, so there's not that many units in there right now. I think these two can start attacking across the river. Or not across the river, but rather through here. So now that we don't have that river crossing penalty, it should be a lot easier. We've got the bombing, or the air support in here. So that should already make life a little bit easier. And I suppose what I could do is I'm going to send this one across the strait. How bad is the max organization? It's not that high on here. On the armor and mechanized troops. So we probably have still a massive... Yeah, we're not really up to date on the organization text. Well, we're working on it. We're working on it. How's the battle in Kagoshima? We haven't really gotten across the strait yet. We can probably go ahead and start attacking in there. And we're going to go ahead and send one of the mechanized divisions over that way as well. And then maybe one of these infantry divisions could join in the combat again, or into Miyazaki. If we can take that one, that would be quite nice. Submarine fire control advance and aviation navigational radar advance. Gonna build his twin engine planes, and there we go. Ground attack in Miyazaki and Fukuoka. So slowly but surely, I think we are gonna get rid of the commanding officer there shortly. It's gonna be shattered after a few more bombing runs, I reckon. We got a bit of air combat against the Romanians again. Well, we're dealing some damage at least, so it's not all bad. But we have managed to take Odessa, which is actually quite nice. And how we haven't quite gotten in position here yet, so what I'm going to do... Right, that's where we're heading to. We can go ahead and leave the Western Army Group in there. And then the army itself can go towards Rostov. I think that's going to be close enough. It should be. And then, so we can actually keep all of that under one theater HQ still. Oh, well, there we go. That's the commanding officer done. But I think the bombing runs and all that are still making our life a little bit too difficult. So I don't suppose... Actually, let's get that in there. Yeah, I think we managed to end this combat for a little while. We're not really getting or dealing the damage that we need to. Partially, we're not within reach of the order of battle at all. But of course, now that we've managed to secure this, it should be holdable, I suppose. Actually, another thing that I could do... I'm going to switch to target over here. Actually, do we have any more bombers? Where do we have the more close air support? So we've got one in Busan. That's already active. Oh, this one could be moved in. Except, do we have the... Well, we don't have any air bases in there. I guess we'll just bring it in here. And then start clearing out the garrison to the south. If we can get across the river from there, then we can clear out the rest of this quite easily. Oh, well, there we go. Advanced armor design to level 5. Which does mean that we can get the light armor, medium armor, assault guns an upgrade. So let's go ahead and queue those up. There we go. Actually, why is the... We did get the light armor an upgrade. It's probably... Oh, it's T50. Okay. The armor is Type 59. The heavy armor is KV85. Special pose armor is T37. Amphibious tank. And then we've got T35 as the infantry tank. Alright, we don't usually have the best infantry tanks yet. Like, we're still behind in tech on a lot of things, but we're slowly catching up at least. And we've got the second set of tactical bombers now. So we'll probably go ahead and move these into... Got 12 units based there. We could bring it in here, actually. They will need to gain organization for a little while, so not going to be active anytime soon. But there we go. Now they're doing counterattacks with the garrisons They are slowly whittling themselves down in there, so eventually we'll be able to retake that. Actually, you should not be attacking immediately when you get there. So rather just hold on to that for now. Now, attack across the river is... Actually, did we did get the close air support in here. Well, it's not actually in here yet. But it's almost there. Here we are. So we're going to go ahead and give it a ground attack order. I'll start clearing out the enemy there. Then we can clear out the enemies in here and so forth. So we can slowly clear out the remaining areas. We've got the bombing runs going to Miyazaki already, so we don't need to worry about that one. And we're getting a bit more industry in due time, so that's going to be a good one. Oh, submarine batteries are probably ahead of time now. Indeed they are. Indeed they are. Our submarine techs are still a little bit behind, but at least the prerequisite tech for making the, or upgrading the submarines are getting up to date now. There we go, so that's going to be another garrison shatter from there. That's got the heavy artillery, actually, I think. Which, if we can wreck that one, that should be a lot easier to punch through here. And we're not really making much headway to Kagoshima quite yet. I suppose we've got another mechanized infantry over here. We can start attacking with that one. I suppose this infantry could also join the fun. We've got the 19th Corps currently waiting here still. What else do we have? We've got the 1st Motorized Corps. I guess we could go ahead and transport these over to here now. Most likely going to be somewhat safe. I think the Japanese battleships have decided to go back to base. And actually, I suppose another thing that I could do is I could go ahead and take another mechanized division and land it into Kitakyushu in preparation for doing a bit of counterattacks in here. Submarine Command HQ and Twin Engine Fighter Prototype Advance. There we go. So the Submarine Command is definitely ahead of time, but that basically means that we have practically no combat delay anymore. Well, it's very, very tiny, but the enemy is definitely dealing a lot of damage on our troops in here. I think we might want to go ahead and start building an air base. Also, we'll build up the naval base over here. So, we'll at least have a decent stockpile of all the capabilities. It's going to take a while before it's fully upgraded, though. So, like, sooner or later, we definitely need to get to one of these ports. There's 4 options, technically speaking. And one of them we're already attacking into. The others, not so much yet. I think this one's managed to gain some organization, so we can probably send it back in here. But the mechanized divisions, they don't really have a lot of organization, is the problem. Oh, right, of course, we can go ahead and land in another one in here. Which might cause some supply issues, mind you, but I'm sure that we can sort out that in due time. So yeah, they lost the heavy artillery, at least, in the mountains up in Fukuoka. So, oh, and there's the infantry division. There we go. Go ahead and get ourselves another corps of infantry then. We of course do need to get a new commander for the corps, which I suppose we might still have. That one's not too bad. Upgrade that, let's give it something else. Actually, this is not in active combat right now, so it doesn't actually need the finest of commanders, but then we can take this corps and assign the new commander. But that was the reinforcements that we were kind of promising already. Oh. Oh, I think they had planes in here. Yeah, naval striking to demonstrate. Okay, well, we should be able to land the troops here fairly quickly. In fact, we already did. Let's move back. So that's another mechanized division in here. I suspect that soon enough we'll be able to just break through the enemy lines. I'm going to go ahead and send the mercenary infantry across the strait as well. I think that's going to be needed. And then we've got a naval infantry over here that could probably help attacking into Miyazaki. And I think we are slowly breaking through the lines into Kagoshima. Hey, floodplane torpedo bomber focus, so sea attack on our cruisers increased, or cruisers and heavy air. So we'll just wait for these reinforcements to arrive, and then we'll probably start doing another ground attack in, or assault on Fukuoka. Because we've got the submarines in here. Oh, right, they got close air support flying through here. Okay, for a moment I thought that was more ships, but nope. When's the mercenary infantry arriving in there? That's 3 days. Okay, we can probably start the attack already. Because I'm pretty sure that we'll still deal a decent bit of damage. We're attacking on their side of the river, so that's not going to be a huge issue. Although the train is not particularly useful for us. I'm sure that there is going to be damage in there. I mean, if we have a look at the manpower, we've got more than double theirs. Of course, the terrain definitely favors them, but we've got the air support, which is wrecking their troops quite nicely. And we've got actually a bit more extra production now. I think we're going to go ahead and get some more planes. We'll get another twin-engine fighter squadron, and then we'll get another 3 medium bombers. That way we can get some more longer-range support. Speaking of which, we did get the tactical bombers already in here, but they're not probably quite ready for fighting. So once they are, I think I'm going to use it over here for a brief moment. Of course, it's defensive stance, so it's not going to be flying quite yet, but they are getting the organization back fairly quickly, so it's probably going to be like a day more that we need to wait. That reminds me, how we're doing it over here, that's still resting. Actually, no, it's going to be like 2/3, isn't it, with the defensive? Don't actually know. So it might take a little bit longer before we start doing the bombing runs in there, but regardless, we definitely need to get some help into Kagoshima. Although there's only 1 unit in there now, so I think we're slowly punching through. But it's just excruciatingly slow. Oh, there we go. That's another 2 industry builds. And Victor and Miyazaki. Ah, there we go. We've taken the port. So actually, that's not that high of a level on the port. We can build both the air and naval bases up there. And then I suppose what we can do is we can start attacking into the next province over here. Do we have any more? Well, we've got some infantry that join in on that one. And we should be able to break through this relatively easily now. No river crossing. Well, there's some river crossing penalty, but it's not as bad. And the terrain is only hills. Well, actually, it was hills over there as well, to be fair. We still have the medium bombers in here, which I suppose I could change your target already. And are we... Well, we haven't really done that. Oh. Other area combat against Hungarian planes this time around. Looks like the Soviets are at least gathering a lot of troops. So, oh, yeah, they've managed to take quite a bit of ground in the southern front line. That's good. And our troops are... Well, they're almost at the Caspian Sea. So we've still got quite a bit of way to go before we can enter into combat in Russia, but we're slowly working on it. But we haven't been part of the Comintern for that long yet, actually. So that's part of the reason. Right, this one probably needs a bit of rest. Same with the rest of the naval... Corps and all that. Did we get the extra headquarters in here? We did get the 19th Corps at least. And we did get the 1st Motorized Corps. The Mechanized Corps is not arrived in here yet. Because we don't have any more ports in here. Well, that was close enough still regardless, so that's not really needed. Carry air crew training, so a naval bomber and flying boat morale is increased. It's not a massive increase, mind you, but it's better than nothing. We'll send in the... oh! Right, there we go, sinking some convoys. Which means that the Japanese have got on convoys again. Now, who gave them that? I don't know. Evidently, they just built it, but still. It's a bit of a funny surprise. Okay, so how much is the manpower now? We've got still 105,000 versus the 29,000. Alright then. Oh, and there's... Oh! Yep was, I think, the port where they had most of their fleets at the start of this session, so that's interesting. Ooh, and we got a bit of air combat over here. Well, there's only one squadron of interceptors in there, so it should be fine. We've got some, or plenty of interceptors of our own helping with that. Oh, there we go, twin engine bomber crew layout. And there we go, that's another 500 casualties for the enemy. So they're down to 4 units defending. Oh, and Kagoshima is getting some bombing. Oh, very, very good. So we are going to be taking that province soon enough. And how's the battle in Myanmar? Maybe we're slowly breaking the infantry in there, but it's the conscripts are still going to take a while. Because actually, if we have a look at the modifiers, how much territorial pride? 113%. Oh, wow. Oh, alright then. So it's a decent bit. That being said, the surround progress is basically nothing. I'm going to go buy some more copper, actually. From the Soviets. Get more supplies. Because we could have a bit more. I mean, it's not too bad of a situation, mind you. Ah, this one's not a fuel. Well, I mean, I suppose we got a bit of supply issues. Although we've gotten at least a second port now, which cannot bring in enough stuff, admittedly. Oh no. There's an uprising. Well, right next to our fascist militia, so it's at least easy to deal with. Then we should have, yeah, they basically have no organization there. And Palau route is getting sank now. Kagoshima is, oh, there we go, victory. We've got on across the river. I suppose the naval infantry could maybe join in. The motorized division is a bit in need of rest right now. We can probably go ahead and switch our ground attack target to the close air support in here. So there we go, and I suppose the tactical bombers from here can now switch targets into Fukuoka. Which are still getting bombed pretty heavily in there, admittedly. And there we go. Copper neutral. Good. Right, so the battle in the south, we're still taking a bit of casualties in there. I think we're going to win that one. The battle in the north, well, with the bombing runs that we're doing, I think we can still break the enemy, but it might take a little bit longer than I would hope for. There is the infantry corps up here. There's... I suppose that's about it, actually. Well, we've got another infantry corps being built up there, of course, but that's going to take a while. We could potentially take on some of these infantry units as well, because I don't think the Japanese are going to be doing a lot of landings anymore. So we can start regrouping these for a future landing into probably Shikoku. We'll have plenty of troops, or plenty of extra troops rather, to send in there. The battle is far from easy, but I suppose, actually, do we have a lot of spies in Japan? Not a huge amount, but we can see that the industry is basically nothing. I mean, 230 is still okay total for like a regional major nation, or minor nation, or regional power, let's just say. But for a major nation, it is quite tiny, especially in 1945. But of course, they lost Korea, they lost Manchuria, they haven't got China, so that reduces already a decent bit. Plus, I've taken, actually, I've only taken a little bit of factories from them thus far. Because once we clear out the rest of this peninsula over here, things will change. And it's just a matter of time until the enemies start losing their strength. I'm going to go ahead and pull back one of these mechanized divisions from the combat. I'm going to move it over there. I'm going to move a fresh one up from here into the combat. And there we go, resource production. Ooh, there we go. Some nice bombing runs going. We're slowly... Actually, how's the manpower now on the combat? We've still got 83,000. They've got 23,000. So there's a 60,000 difference in there. It's about 4 to 1, essentially. But, of course, the terrain is a little bit rough on us. And, of course, they got a fairly good modifiers with the terrain. And they've probably got some of the leaders fairly experienced. Well, actually, it's not that experienced. But the fact that they're fighting in home turf, that does mean that they get a massive boost, 113%. We would not get that high bonus. Can I see that in the utility? Let's see, country info. No, it does not list the territorial pride, as far as I can tell. Oh well. And now they got even more troops waiting in here. So what I could do, once we clear out this island, start bringing the planes in and all that, what I might do is I might start doing a massive logistical bombing over here so that they can't get supplies for all their troops. And then we might be able to get across, but that's going to be a long-term plan. Oh, paratrooper support advanced, there we go. So transport planes are a bit cheaper, among a few other things, but that's the primary thing that we're hoping to get from there. Another thing that I can do is once we clear out the island, we can allow them to start attacking us across the strait, but then we'll move in the submarines again, so they won't be able to reinforce the combat any... Well, actually, they might be able to reinforce the combat now that I think of it. While the combat is going, but what we can do, of course, is we can have the submarines in there, we can retreat away if need be, and then just return because they can't cross the strait. Oh, there we go, we've got some more troops in the combat now, so how is the numbers looking at this point? About 100,000 versus their 20,000. So sooner or later, they will fall. Ooh, heavy industry in Nanjing. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, there's 2 heavy industry in there already. And we're already building up the industry in there after full. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty decent boost. It's not like a massive boost, mind you, but it is nice to have nonetheless. I'm going to go ahead and buy some more chromite, I think. Oh, well, I guess we'll buy from Cuba. We need to do a communist revolution in there. Although it's not really something that we can do easily. It's kind of possible, but it requires a lot of core ops points and all that sort of stuff, and it doesn't really do too much other than changing the government. Ah, right, one of the motorized division needs to pull back. We've got some more troops that could join in the combat, though. So that can pull back. So in the armored division as well. Well, they do actually have some armor in there. They've got some piercing attack as well. So I don't think our tanks are actually that safe in there, but we've got a fairly good piercing attack as well on our troops, so like, the armor is not really the problem. Also, we got the air support. Oh, right, speaking of which, what do we get? That's another infantry division. Right, that would be the part of the 21st Corps. I think we're going to go ahead and get some more close air support as well. Get another 3 squadrons of those, and then 1 of fighter bombers. We need to get a whole lot of planes, so that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it. Oh, there we go. They're down to 2 units now defending. So how much is that in manpower? 10,000 men. Oh. There we go. So we are breaking through here. It's just going to take a little bit longer. And then we'll slowly... Oh, I think they may have brought in some troops in here. Oh, I think what's happening is they had some troops in there. And with our ships, or submarines especially, moving through here every now and then, they are stopped. And then they start moving. So yeah, it's not really that bad then. Oh, and there goes the port. Well, that's unfortunate. Hopefully we'll have enough supplies to get into the bigger port up here. And also still a little bit low on officers. We're still getting almost 100 per day, but I suppose what I could do, I'm going to increase the officer recruitment to like 11 leadership. So there's again a tiny boost in there, but nothing massive. Like the 90%, it's not a catastrophe. It's not ideal, mind you, but it's not a catastrophe. Come on, there's only 2 divisions defending up there, and in the south there's still 3 that are actually fighting. Oh, there we go, victory of Fukuoka. They did take quite a bit of casualties in there. Oh, bollocks. Bloody hell, they keep on bombing this. Okay, I'm going to retreat this one as quickly as possible from there. It's the bloody cores that get shattered. I suppose what I should have done is just make these into combat units a lot sooner. I haven't bothered doing that in this particular run, but it can be quite useful, admittedly. It means that your cores won't shatter quite as easy, for example, and they can do a bit of fighting. You can level up your commanding officers on those cores, for example, a lot faster. You can usually do that with armies as well, to some degree, but army groups tend to be... They need to be reaching a lot more units, so it tends to be less viable option for them. Not completely off the chart, mind you. Oh. Wait, how did they get troops in Kagoshima? I don't know if it's some troops that were spawned in or something. But that's slightly odd. Because the enemy doesn't have a supplies in there, so... Because we control the province, so it's not really that bad of a situation, but it's weird. And we should be getting up to the woods here shortly enough. And then clearing out the... I suppose we might go for Nagasaki first. I think that's going to be probably easier than clearing out the Sasebo's mountains. But regardless, there's not that much troops defending either one of these. Oh, we already arrived. They're doing a counterattack. Once we break that one... Oh, they're sending everything that they have in there. Which kind of makes sense, mind you. But yeah, no, that's not really helping them in the long run. Right, right, the reinforcement need has started dropping down, of course. That's part of the reason why we now have suddenly a whole lot more. I think I might go ahead and get some more submarines, really. It's going to take a while before they are usable, but just having the extra submarines might allow us to keep the enemy at bay, sink more convoys, and all that, so it's not too bad. And now we just need to hold on to Fukuoka. I think we can do that, though. Now let's go ahead and send the close air support to start doing strikes on Sasebo. Continuous strikes at that. And then the light bombers can start attacking into Nagasaki. So with a little luck, we should be able to take that. And of course, we need to... Do we need... I suppose getting some more escorts wouldn't hurt. Get a little bit of those. Maybe some more convoys. Another 90 convoys. Because it takes about a full year to make. We will probably need some more troops as well soon enough. But there we go. Some bombing runs. Oh, the Sasebo bombing runs were quite successful. Now that we're starting to get some more troops in here, we can probably hold off the enemy quite easily. And are we making any headway on the battle in here? Well, slowly. Just a little bit more. I can probably push them back into the straits there. And then I suppose what I could actually do is just have our submarines briefly sit there. So the enemy troops can't cross the strait. And with a little bit of luck, we can then start destroying the units in here. In Osumi Shoto. After we've destroyed anything that they have on Kanoya. And actually... Oh. Right, well, I suppose our production has increased again, thanks to less reinforcements needed. I suppose we've still got a decent bit of manpower. I'm going to go ahead and set up another infantry corps underway. I'll put in some heavy AT. Put in some, well, HQ, of course, light vehicles. Engineer's a pretty decent one. We could probably put in, actually... we do need to have some artillery, so we'll put medium artillery, and then maybe the mix support. For some extra anti-air defenses. As a reserve, and we'll probably just build 10 more divisions. It's a decent bit of manpower, admittedly, but that's alright. But I do see that we are actually out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.